Good morning, this is Rich Nelson with Allendale with a special update. Today is August 12th of 2016. Today's a monthly supply demand report from USDA, and honestly, the trade had expected, and certainly ourselves as well, a very quiet report. We expected a moderate increase in supply for both corn and soybeans, and maybe some moderate changes to ending stock numbers as well. USDA actually certainly surprised the trade quite a bit here with the numbers for both old crop and new crop across the board. Now, as far as the corn, well, let's point out, first of all, we got a massive shock to the trade. 175.1 is USDA's estimate here for current yields. Certainly quite a bit surprising. That was above all analyst estimates here, and certainly over the trade's estimate here of 170.6. So USDA suggested this crop is much bigger than anybody expected here. As far as this goes. In fact, they added 613 million bushels to new crop supply. So that's the message for us right now. Bigger supply for corn and soybeans. Specifically, once you break it down as far as old crop issues, USDA did cut off about 100 million bushels between both ethanol as well as feed. They offset that with a 100 million bushel increase as far as exports. Now, one question we have for USDA over the next couple of weeks will be, well, they upped the number as far as old crop estimates for exports, but can we actually ship all this out as of August 31st? That's a very big question I have right now with USDA's current old crop estimate on exports here. But bottom line, as far as ending stocks, 1.706. So pretty much no major change at all here from the previous number from last month. As far as new crop, well, with this extra supply, a full 613 million bushels higher, USDA actually didn't change too much on the demand side, surprisingly. They left feed unchanged, they left ethanol unchanged, and that's reasonable on the ethanol side. They only added exports by about 125. So really about half of a supply increase is offset by a demand change. In this case, not at all. We've got a 613 million bushel increase for production, a minor change for imports, and then only a small offset with exports. That certainly pushed the new crop ending stocks up from 2.081 billion bushels to a very large 2.409. And that 2.4 number, now you're kind of having some people will be questioning whether we can actually hit $3 now on the futures end for December corn or not. And you'll have some arguments certainly about this issue here in the next few weeks. As far as changes on old crop or on the world side for corn, USDA did cut the Brazilian crop a little bit here, the already harvested crop here. And as far as new crop numbers, they left most of them the same. Maybe a moderate increase as far as Argentina's crop. They went from 34 million tons. USDA now has them at 36.5 for the spring 2017 harvest. Now, just like corn, we were certainly quite a bit surprised by the numbers on soybeans as far as production. It wasn't as dramatic of a shock, though. 48.9 is USDA's current number now for new crop yields. 48.9 bushels per acre. Last month, they were at 46.7. So this would be a brand new record yield for soybeans, coming right off of the record yield last year for soybeans as well. So that's actually quite important here for the trade discussion. Now, in terms of numbers, well, let's talk about the soybeans from the old crop side first, because that's actually pretty interesting here. USDA did add 10 million bushels to their crush estimate. They changed numbers as far as those minor categories. They're called seed and residual here. The biggest surprise here for us was the very large jump that USDA made for their export number here. Old crop exports here, which only have until August 31st to ship out, were jumped by a full 120 million bushels. Very large number. So that certainly helped push the ending stock number down from 370 million bushels last month to now 255, a very low number and certainly a good surprise as far as this goes. And that needed change for old crop is really kind of important for us now when looking at the new crop supply problem. 80 million bushels was added to the new crop production number here since the June report. As far as the other changes on exports, well, that was up 15, and we got a moderate increase as far as the other side of about 30 million bushels. So as far as the issues going on right now for new crop, 290 million bushels for ending stocks last month, now 330. In the big picture, I got to say that trade probably might feel a little supportive on the soybean side with this whole issue with the export change on the old crop, as well as maybe some questions on the new crop yield numbers. As far as world Not too many changes on the old crop to look at all. In fact, they left all the China numbers unchanged. As far as the new crop side, no real major changes at all either there for anybody outside the U.S. Picture. Also surprising, USDA left new crop soybean imports for China unchanged at 87 million tons. Over on the wheat side, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this one. Ending stocks were lowered from 1105, that's 1.105 million bushels, now 1.100. That's a correction, that's a billion bushels. And so this minor 5 million change, not really much to speak of. USDA did add more to production, now another 60 million bushels on top of last month's report, but they also offset that with some good changes as far as exports. And the big question for a lot of people on the wheat side probably wouldn't be on the U.S. numbers themselves, but on the world numbers. And on the world numbers, I'm looking at across the board. We've got a sharp 9 million ton drop for the EU crop, now at 147.5 million tons. So a very sharp drop in terms of the EU numbers. However, we see gains for many other areas. Russia up 7. Let's see here. We've got Ukraine up 2 million tons, that is here. We've got the Kazakh guys up 2 right there. We've got increases for Australia for 1 million tons. Canada up 1. So even though USDA cut a lot out of the EU crop, with the changes from the U.S. as well as the FSU countries, you're looking at a net increase in production. So certainly a big surprise there. But the bottom line here right now for us on these grains, well, USDA gave us some pretty astounding numbers as far as yields. I'll be honest with you, I think this 175.1 is probably a bit unreasonable here. However, keep in mind for USDA's way of doing these reports. For this August 12th report right here, this was not actually a full ear analysis, a full kernel count, etc. here. In this case, due to maturity issues, USDA likely used mainly ear counts. And I do think once they get back in the fields here for September or October and get some more realistic ear measurements done, that's the issue where I do think these yield numbers will decline. So here's a quote for you guys. It's very likely this will be the largest yield number we see of the year as far as corn. So we may see some bearish reaction certainly today, also likely tomorrow as well. We do have to wonder, though, about how long it will last. Let's see what these crop tours, as well as Allendale's own nationwide farmer survey conducted from the 15th through 26th, have to say about these issues. If you have any questions about markets, marketing in general, give Allendale a call, 1-800-262-7538.